The year is 2025. Across vast swaths of our planet, the future we once envisioned is drying up. Reservoirs shrink into puddles, fertile lands crack into dusty mosaics, and the very lifeline of civilization, water, becomes a precious, dwindling commodity. From the American West to the Horn of Africa, from the plains of India to the Mediterranean coast, communities face unprecedented challenges. Mega-droughts, once deemed anomalies, are now a grim reality, pushing ecosystems to the brink and threatening the stability of nations. The stark images on our screens tell a story of desperation, a world grappling with a crisis that feels both inevitable and overwhelming. We watch, we worry, and we ask, how do we survive this? But what if the answers aren't just in the futuristic technologies we dream of, but in the echoes of a distant past? Humanity has traversed these arid landscapes before. For millennia, civilizations rose and fell under the relentless sun, confronted by droughts far longer and more severe than many we face today. They didn't have satellite imagery or advanced desalination plants. They had ingenuity, community, and an intimate understanding of their environment. How did the Nabateans flourish in the desert, carving cities from rock and capturing every drop? How did the Maya sustain vast populations during centuries of aridity? How did ancient Persians engineer underground aqueducts stretching for miles? This documentary will embark on an extraordinary journey, unveiling the timeless wisdom of those who mastered the art of survival against the greatest environmental odds. Over 8 illuminating sections, we will explore the forgotten techniques, the innovative spirit, and the profound lessons hidden in the sands of time. Lessons that are not merely historical footnotes, but vital blueprints for 2025's urgent water crisis and for generations to come. The year is 2025. Across vast swaths of our planet, the land is cracking. Rivers run dry, reservoirs dwindle, and communities grapple with an existential threat: water scarcity. This isn't a future forecast, it is our present reality. But humanity has walked this parched path before. For millennia, our ancestors faced droughts of a scale that dwarf many modern crises, prolonged periods of extreme dryness, often spanning centuries, known as mega-droughts. How do we know this? The answers lie buried in the earth itself, whispered by ancient trees, etched into cave formations, and preserved in the silent depths of polar ice. Our journey begins with the unsung heroes of paleoclimatology, scientists who are essentially climate detectives, piecing together Earth's ancient weather patterns. Imagine drilling into glacial ice sheets, extracting cylindrical cores that are time capsules spanning hundreds of thousands of years. Each layer, each trapped air bubble, reveals atmospheric composition, temperature, and precipitation data from bygone eras. Further south, deep within limestone caves, stalagmites and stalactites grow incrementally, their chemical composition changing with the availability of water. These speleosomes offer incredibly precise records of wet and dry periods, sometimes down to a single year. And, perhaps most poetically, the rings of ancient trees, some living for thousands of years, act as nature's own annual diaries. Thick rings signify abundant growth in water. Thin, tightly packed rings scream of prolonged drought. Through dendrochronology, scientists can reconstruct regional precipitation histories stretching back millennia, revealing the terrifying regularity and devastating duration of past mega-droughts. Consider the arid American Southwest, where tree ring data indicates a devastating mega-drought between 1150 and 1200 CE, contributing to significant societal shifts. Or the Middle East, a cradle of civilization, which experienced multiple protracted dry spells throughout the Bronze Age, challenging the very foundations of early empires. These aren't just scientific curiosities. They are stark warnings from history. They unveil a world where the very landscape transformed, where societies were pushed to their absolute limits, forcing ingenuity, migration, or collapse. Understanding the scale of these ancient challenges is the critical first step to appreciating the remarkable solutions our ancestors forged, solutions that might just hold the key to our own thirsty future. The evidence of ancient mega-droughts paints a grim picture, one of relentless environmental pressure. But rather than succumbing, our ancestors often met these challenges with extraordinary ingenuity. Faced with scarcity, they became master hydrologists, transforming barren landscapes into vibrant civilizations. This wasn't merely about digging wells. It was about orchestrating water, bending it to their will with engineering marvels that echo through the ages. From the parched deserts of ancient Persia, now modern Iran, sprang the qanats system, a testament to collaborative genius. For over 3,000 years, subterranean aqueducts, some stretching for dozens of miles, tapped into underground water tables beneath mountain ranges. Generations of engineers known as muqanats meticulously dug hundreds of vertical shafts, some over 100 meters deep, to construct gently sloping tunnels, ensuring a continuous gravity-fed flow of clean water to distant settlements. These weren't mere trenches. They were sophisticated, self-maintaining systems that minimized evaporation, sustaining populations in some of the most arid regions on Earth. Imagine the sheer manpower, the intricate surveying, and the generational knowledge required to build and maintain these hidden lifelines. Across the Mediterranean, the Roman Empire, renowned for its engineering prowess, constructed a vast network of aqueducts. The Pont du Gard in southern France, a stunning three-tiered stone structure built around 19 BCE, is a spectacular example. It delivered 20,000 cubic meters of water daily over 50 kilometers to the city of Nimes, showcasing a mastery of arches, gradients, and durable construction that ensured public baths, fountains, and private homes remained supplied. In Peru, the ancient Nazca culture, flourishing between 100 BCE and 800 CE, developed the puquios, spiraling stone-lined trenches leading to underground canals, much like qanats, that still bring water to the surface today, long after the Nazca themselves vanished. These ancient engineers understood something fundamental. Water is life, and its capture, storage, and distribution required not just brawn, but brilliant minds. Their masterpieces weren't just infrastructure. They were the very arteries of civilization, a profound display of human determination to thrive against nature's harshest tests. And in their enduring legacy, they reveal the timeless wisdom of working with, not against, the landscape to secure precious water. While grand engineering projects like aqueducts and qanats were monumental achievements, they were ultimately expressions of an even more fundamental innovation: organized community. Beyond the stone and mortar, the true masterpiece of ancient drought survival lay in the invisible bonds of social cohesion and sophisticated crisis management. For water infrastructure, no matter how ingenious, is useless without a populace willing to cooperate, share, and adhere to collective rules. Consider the Muche civilization of ancient Peru, flourishing along the arid Pacific coast between 100 and 800 CE. Their survival depended on elaborate irrigation canals fed by unpredictable Andean rivers. When drought hit, diverting water became a matter of life and death for different farming communities. This required strong, centralized leadership capable of enforcing equitable distribution, often through a system of rotating water rights. Without trust and a clear authority, individual greed could quickly lead to conflict and the collapse of the entire system. Archaeological evidence suggests that communities invested heavily in shared infrastructure, understanding that collective good superseded individual gain during times of scarcity. In many early agricultural societies, water access was managed through communal councils or religious institutions. The elders or priests might oversee the opening and closing of irrigation gates, ensuring that water flowed to fields according to established customs or urgent need. This wasn't just practical, it was deeply ingrained in their social and spiritual fabric. Water wasn't merely a resource, it was sacred, and its management required ritual and reverence, reinforcing communal responsibility. labor too was a shared burden. Maintaining complex irrigation networks, desilting canals, or repairing dams after floods required the coordinated effort of entire villages, sometimes for weeks on end. Festivals and communal feasts often accompanied these efforts, solidifying social bonds and celebrating collective achievement. The lessons are clear. Resilience in the face of water crisis isn't solely about technology. It's about people. It's about establishing clear governance, fostering equitable distribution, and nurturing a spirit of communal effort. When these social structures frayed, even the most advanced engineering could not save a civilization from the ravages of drought. It speaks to the profound truth that a united community is often the most robust defense against environmental adversity, a truth as relevant in 2025 as it was millennia ago. The best engineered systems and the most robust social structures could not conjure rain from an empty sky during a mega-drought. Ultimately, survival hinged on the ability to feed a population when traditional agriculture failed. When the rains didn't come, ancient farmers didn't just give up, they innovated, adapting their agricultural practices and mastering the art of food security, cultivating resilience in the very soil beneath their feet. One of the simplest yet most effective adaptations was the cultivation of drought-resistant crops. While modern agriculture often relies on monocultures, ancient farmers championed biodiversity. They understood that a variety of crops, each with different water needs and growth cycles, offered a crucial buffer against failure. Millet, sorghum, and specific varieties of beans and gourds, known for their resilience in arid conditions, became staples in drought-prone regions. In the highlands of the Andes, ancient cultures cultivated over 3,000 varieties of potatoes, some specifically bred for high altitudes and dry soil, ensuring at least some harvest even in difficult years. Beyond crop selection, farmers developed ingenious techniques to maximize every precious drop of water. Waffle gardens, or check dams, were employed by various cultures, including the ancestral Puebloans, to slow runoff and allow water to percolate into the soil, creating microenvironments suitable for cultivation. Terracing, common from the rice paddies of Asia to the hillsides of the Incas, didn't just prevent erosion, it also retained moisture, creating flat, fertile platforms where water could be carefully managed. The Incas, moray, agricultural terraces, with their concentric sunken circles, created distinct microclimates, allowing for experimentation with different crops and optimizing growing conditions. Crucially, adaptation extended to food storage. What could be harvested during good years had to last through the bad. Massive granaries, underground silos, and ceramic vessels were designed to protect harvests from pests, moisture, and spoilage. The Romans, for instance, constructed huge public granaries, or huria, capable of storing vast quantities of grain for years. These weren't just buildings. They were strategic assets securing the very survival of their cities. These ancient innovations in agriculture and food security demonstrate a profound understanding of ecological limits and a relentless human drive to adapt, ensuring that even in the face of widespread desiccation, the people would eat. Not all civilizations successfully navigated the relentless pressure of mega-droughts. Sometimes, even the most advanced societies, when faced with overwhelming environmental stress combined with existing societal fragilities, succumbed to decline. For a stark and profound lesson, we turn our gaze to the classic Maya civilization of Mesoamerica, famed for its towering pyramids, intricate hieroglyphs, and sophisticated understanding of astronomy. Between approximately 250 and 900 CE, the Maya flourished in the lowlands of what is now southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and Honduras. They built magnificent city-states like Tikal, Palenque, and Copan, supporting millions of people through advanced agriculture and complex social structures. Yet, by the end of the 9th century, many of these grand centers were abandoned, their populations dispersed, their stone cities reclaimed by the jungle. While no single factor explains this, Maya collapse, mounting scientific evidence points to a series of severe mega-droughts as a critical catalyst. Paleoclimate data, derived from lake sediments and speleothems, reveals that the Maya lowlands experienced several intense periods of dryness during the late Classic period, specifically a prolonged drought from around 800 to 900 CE. Unlike civilizations in more temperate zones with perennial rivers, the Maya relied heavily on seasonal rainfall and a network of reservoirs and cisterns to capture water for their massive urban populations. When the monsoon seasons failed for years, even decades, their intricate water management systems were overwhelmed. The consequences were catastrophic. Agricultural yields plummeted, leading to widespread famine. Resource scarcity exacerbated existing political tensions between rival city-states, fueling warfare. As social order broke down, confidence in the divine power of the kings, who were believed to communicate with the gods to bring rain, waned. People began to abandon the once thriving urban centers, seeking sustenance in the wetter, less populated highlands, or dispersing into smaller, self-sufficient communities. The Maya did not vanish entirely, but their centralized, urbanized civilization fractured and declined significantly. The Maya's fate serves as a chilling reminder that even the most brilliant civilizations are not immune to environmental collapse, especially when natural limits are pushed too far, and internal pressures combine with external environmental shocks. It's a powerful story of how the very foundation of life, water, can dictate the rise and fall of empires. From the lush, albeit sometimes thirsty, jungles of Mesoamerica, we journey northward to the starkly beautiful, arid landscapes of the American Southwest. Here, another testament to human ingenuity against drought emerged, the ancestral Puiviai. For centuries, this remarkable culture not only survived, but thrived in a region notorious for its extreme aridity, their story offering a compelling counterpoint to the Maya's decline, one of enduring adaptation and strategic migration. Flourishing from roughly 100 CE to 1600 CE, the ancestral Puebloans built extraordinary communities, first as basket makers, and later constructing the iconic cliff dwellings and massive pueblos that dot the Four Corners region. Their very existence was a masterclass in dryland farming and water conservation. Unlike the Maya, who relied on vast reservoirs, the Puebloans practiced diffuse water management, capturing and redirecting every drop of ephemeral rain and snowmelt. They built check dams and terraces across slopes, not just for agriculture, but to slow runoff, allowing precious moisture to soak into the earth. Their waffle gardens, small, raised plots surrounded by earthen berms, were ingenious micro-irrigation systems, retaining water directly around individual plants. They developed drought-resistant strains of corn, beans, and squash, often planting them deep to access subsurface moisture. But perhaps their most profound adaptation was a willingness to move. As detailed by dendrochronology, the Southwest experienced a series of severe mega-droughts, particularly between the mid-12th and late 13th centuries. The Great Drought of 1276 to 1299 CE was especially devastating. Faced with prolonged aridity that even their ingenious methods couldn't overcome, the ancestral Puebloans didn't cling to failing settlements. Instead, they embarked on a strategic, coordinated migration. They abandoned their monumental cliff dwellings and large pueblos in places like Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon, moving south and east to areas with more reliable water sources, congregating near perennial rivers or springs. This wasn't a collapse in the same vein as the Maya. It was a societal transformation, a profound act of resilience. Their cultures persisted, evolving into the vibrant Pueblo communities we know today. The ancestral Puebloans teach us that adaptation can mean not just innovating in place, but also knowing when to strategically retreat and reimagine one's relationship with the land. Their legacy is a powerful narrative of ingenuity, community resilience, and the ultimate wisdom of respecting environmental limits, even if it means picking up and moving toward a more sustainable future. The echoes of ancient ingenuity reverberate through time, offering invaluable wisdom as we navigate our own water crisis in 2025. The challenge may feel new, but the fundamental principles of survival in a thirsty world remain surprisingly constant. How can the lessons from qanats, communal water sharing, and Puebloan dryland farming translate into actionable strategies for our hyperconnected, technologically advanced age? The answer lies in bridging the water gap between timeless wisdom and cutting-edge innovation. Consider the principle of efficiency. Ancient Romans meticulously managed gradients to ensure water flowed effectively over vast distances, minimizing waste. Today, that same dedication to efficiency is being amplified by artificial intelligence and advanced sensor technology. Smart irrigation systems powered by AI use hyperlocal weather data, soil moisture sensors, and even satellite imagery to deliver the precise amount of water exactly when and where it's needed, reducing agricultural water waste by up to 50% in some regions. This is the ancient principle of every drop counts, supercharged by data. The communal management systems of the Moche, or the ancestral Puebloans, emphasizing equitable distribution and collective responsibility, find modern analogs in community-led water conservation initiatives and sustainable water governance models. Blockchain technology is even being explored to create transparent, immutable records for water rights and usage, ensuring fair distribution and accountability, a digital extension of ancient water councils. Desalination plants, a modern engineering marvel, are providing new sources of fresh water, echoing the ancient drive to secure water where none existed, while fog nets in arid coastal regions harness atmospheric moisture, a testament to low-tech, localized, ancient-inspired solutions. Perhaps the most potent lesson is local adaptation. The ancestral Puebloans didn't try to build Roman aqueducts in the desert. They adapted to their specific environment. Today, this means empowering local communities with the tools and knowledge to develop solutions tailored to their unique hydrologic challenges, rather than imposing one-size-fits-all approaches. From decentralized water purification systems using nanotechnology to citizen science initiatives monitoring local water quality, technology can amplify human agency. We are not just looking back at ancient solutions. We are actively integrating their spirit of innovation, efficiency, and community into the smart, sustainable water practices of the 21st century. As we stare down the barrel of an uncertain water future in 2025, the journey through ancient mega-droughts offers more than just historical context. It provides a vital blueprint for survival. The challenges our ancestors faced were immense, yet their responses, both grand and subtle, contain profound and timeless wisdom that must inform our actions today and for generations to come. Firstly, the critical importance of community and equitable governance. From the Moche to the Puebloans, civilizations that managed to share water fairly and organize collective labor proved far more resilient. In our modern, complex world, this means fostering global cooperation, strengthening local water management bodies, and ensuring that access to this fundamental human right is fair and transparent. No technology, no matter how advanced, can overcome the divisive forces of inequality and mistrust when resources dwindle. Secondly, no radical adaptation and ingenious management. Whether it was the precise engineering of qanats, the drought-resistant crops of ancient farmers, or the strategic migrations of the ancestral Puebloans, our ancestors were masters of adapting to their specific environments. For us, this translates into embracing diverse solutions, investing in water-saving technologies, developing resilient agricultural practices, exploring alternative water sources like desalination and wastewater recycling, and yes, even considering strategic relocation, where climate impacts render traditional habitation unsustainable. It means fostering a culture of innovation at every level, from individual households to international policy. Finally, and perhaps most crucially, the ancient world teaches us respect for natural limits. The Maya story is a stark reminder of what happens when demand outstrips supply, when societies expand beyond what their ecosystem can sustainably support. In 2025, with a global population of over 8 billion, this lesson is more urgent than ever. It demands a fundamental shift in our relationship with water, seeing it not as an infinite commodity, but as a finite, precious resource that must be conserved, revered, and managed with utmost care. The ancient wisdom is clear. While our tools evolve, the fundamental principles of resilience, community, adaptation, ingenious management, and a profound respect for natural limits remain our most powerful assets. The past doesn't just illuminate our present crisis. It empowers us with strategies, stories, and hope. By heeding the echoes of ancient desiccation, we can forge a future where humanity not just survives, but thrives, even in a thirsty world. From the ingenious qanats of Persia to the rock-carved cisterns of Petra, from Inca terrace farming to the vast reservoirs of the Indus Valley, our journey has revealed a profound truth. Humanity has faced mega-droughts before. The ancients, driven by necessity and an intimate knowledge of their environment, engineered solutions that transcended their technological limitations, demonstrating extraordinary foresight and communal cooperation. Their intricate systems of water harvesting, storage, and distribution, their deep respect for every precious drop, and their adaptive agricultural strategies are more than historical curiosities. They provide a vital roadmap for navigating the unprecedented water challenges of 2025 and beyond. This documentary serves not as a lament, but as a powerful call to action. The wisdom of ancient societies teaches us that a water-secure future lies in embracing sustainable practices, fostering robust community resilience, and rediscovering our intrinsic connection to the natural world. It demands we look beyond short-term fixes, live within our ecological means, and collaborate across borders, just as our ancestors did within their communities. The solutions aren't always complex. Sometimes they are as fundamental as a well-placed rainwater catchment. The mega-droughts of today are undeniable, but so too is humanity's enduring capacity for adaptation. By honoring the ingenuity of the past, by integrating timeless principles with modern innovation, we can transform vulnerability into strength, scarcity into sustainability, and build a future where water, the very essence of life, flows freely for all.